Hello and welcome to my channel. Today it's February the 1st, 2021, the shortest month of the year, also known as Black History Month. That is correct. Today is the first day we honor our African American or Black history, or people that made a difference in that community. But what exactly is Black History Month according to the historychannel.com? Use the topics Black History Month. Now, this was probably back in 2010, but still relevant, doesn't really matter. Black History Month is an annual celebration of achievements by African Americans and time for recognition of their central role in U.S. history, also known as African American History Month. And the event grew out of Negro History Week, the brainchild of noted historian Carter G. Woodson and other prominent African Americans. Since 1976, every U.S. president has officially designated the month of February as Black History Month. Other countries around the world, including Canada and United Kingdom, also devote the month to celebrating Black history. The origins of Black History Month. The story of Black History Month begins in 1915, half a century after the 13th Amendment abolishing slavery in the United States. In September, the Harvard trained historian Carter G. Woodson and the prominent minister Jesse E. Moreland founded the Association of Study of Negro Life and History, ASNLH, an organization dedicated to researching and promoting achievements by Black Americans and other people of African descent. Today, or known today as the Association of Study of African American Life and History, the group sponsored National Negro History Week in 1926, choosing the second week of February to coincide with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. The event inspired schools and communities nationwide to organize local celebration, establish history club, and host performance lecture. Did you know the NAACP was founded on February the 12th, 1909, the centennial anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln? In the decades that followed, mayors of cities across the country began issuing yearly proclamations recognizing Negro History Week by the late of 1960s, thanks to the part of the civil rights movement and the growing awareness of Black identity. Negro history had evolved into Black History Month on many colleges' campuses. The campuses actually did something semi-useful. President Gerald Ford officially recognized Black History Month in 1976 upon calling upon the public to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. Since 1976, every American president has Black, designated February as Black History Month and endorsed the Pacific theme. Black History Month 2021 theme: Black family, representation, identity, and diversity. Explores the African diaspora and the spread of Black families across the United States. Um, yeah, Black families. I definitely get get behind a mother, father, and children family unit. and actually give them back some of their dignity and not have them on welfare, being slaves to the system. But that's a topic for another day. That's kind of like what my initial thought is. But we're here to celebrate the first day of Black History, and why not go with the man behind it all? In 1915, Carter G. Woolson traveled to Chicago from his home in Washington, D.C. to take part of the national celebration of the 50th anniversary of emancipation. He had earned his bachelor's and master's degree in the University of Chicago and still had many friends there as he joined thousands of black Americans overflowing from the Coliseum, which housed exhibiting highlighting African American achievement since the abolition of slavery. Wilson was inspired to do more in the spirit of celebrating black history and heritage before he left Chicago. He helped the foundation or found the Association for ASNLH. A year later, Woodson single handedly launched the Journey of Negro History, in which he and other researchers brought attention to the achievements of black Americans. Born in 1875 in New Canton, Virginia, Wilson had worked as a sharecropper, miner, and various other jobs during his childhood to help support his large family. Though he entered high school late, he made up for lost time, graduating in less than 2 years, according to the Faro College in Kentucky. Wilson worked in the Philippines as a education superintendent for the U.S. government. He earned his bachelor and master degree at University of Chicago before entering Harvard. In 1912, 3 years before the founding of the ASNLH, he became only the second African American after W.E.B. Du Bois earned a doctorate from the institution. Like Du Bois, Wilson believed that young African Americans in early 20th century were not being taught enough of their own heritage and the achievement of their ancestors. To get this message out, Wilson first turned to his fraternity, Omega Psi Phi, which created Negro History and Literature Week in 1924. But Wilson wanted a wider celebration, and he decided that the ASNLH should take on the task itself. In February 1926, Wilson sent out a press release announcing the first Negro History Week. He chose February because the month contained the birthdays of both Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, two prominent men whose historic achievement African Americans already celebrated. Lincoln's birthday was in February 12th. Douglass, a former slave, hadn't known his actual birthday, but had marked the occasion on February the 14th, which is Valentine's Day. As schools and other organizations across the country quickly embraced the Wilson Initiative, he and his college struggled to meet the demand of course materials and other resources. The ASNLH formed branches all over the country through the national headquarters remained centered in Wilson's Row House on 9th Street in Washington, D.C. The house was also home base for the Associate Publisher Press, which Wilson had founded in 1921. So yeah, this person was pretty much a base before a base was a thing. The author of more than 20 books, including Century of Negro Migration, 1918, History of the Negro Church, 1921, Negro in Our History, 1922, and his most celebrated text, The Miseducation of the Negro, 1933. Wilson also worked in education as a principal for the Armstrong Manual Training School in Washington, D.C., and a dean at Harvard University and the West Virginia Collegiate Institute. Clearly, Wilson never viewed the study of black history as something that could be confined to a week. As early as the 1940s, efforts began to expand the week of public celebration of African American heritage and achievement into a longer event. The shift had already begun in some locations by 1950 when Woodson died suddenly of a heart attack at home in Washington. The rise of the civil rights and black power movement in 1960s, young African Americans on college campuses became increasingly conscious of history dimension of their experience. Younger members of the ASNLH later became the Association of Study of African American History, urged the organization to change with the times, including the official shift to a month-long celebration of Black History in 1976 and the 50th anniversary of the first Negro History Week. The association officially made the shift to Black History Month. Since then, every president has issued a proclamation honoring the spirit of Black History Month. General Ford began the tradition in 1976, saying the celebration enabled people to seize the opportunity to honor the often too neglected accomplishment of Black Americans in every endeavor throughout our history. Ronald Reagan, the first Black History Month proclamation, stated the understanding of the history of Black Americans is key to understanding the strength of our nation. In 2016, Barack Obama, the nation's first African American president, made his proclamation to honor of Wilson's initiative, now recognized as one of the nation's oldest organized celebration in history as we mark the 40th year of National African American History Month. Let us reflect on the sacrifices and contribution made by generations of African Americans, and let us resolve to continue our march towards a day where every person knows the unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that is the first episode that I'm doing of this month. I don't know if I'm going to continue on this trend. I might, I might not. Leave a comment down below if there's any other topics relating to Black History Month that you want me to go over, and I'll be gladly take a look at it and see if it's entertaining to me or enlightening for me to go over. Anyways, that being said, smash the like and subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Smash the like, not the like button, but the plus button if you're on Rumble. But most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.